All right. Good morning. Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Every week, we bring you the best agents in the country talking about the tactics that they are using to build their real estate sales business, their cash machine on their journey, their entrepreneurial journey to freedom. There's 7 levels. You got to build a cash machine, you got to build a wealth machine. On Tuesday, we talk about the agent side of the business, how to build that cash machine. And then on Wednesday, Wealth Wednesdays, we talk about the investing side, how to build a wealth machine, every facet of that. And this morning, I am joined by one of my good friends, someone that I think literally is one of the best agents in the business. She's got the receipts. I've seen it in action, right? My good friend Tara Carter. What's going on, Tara?
Hi.
Hello. Can I give you some flowers really fast?
Sure.
Okay, here's what I love about Tara is we're gonna go over some of these things, and some of these things I think take time. There's a progression and a stacking that takes time in place. And some of these tactics are applicable to everything, right? Just because you're not in a luxury market doesn't mean you can't treat your clients like luxury, doesn't mean you can't establish a home base for yourself, right? Doesn't mean you can't be specific with your branding and walk into the door knowing your numbers cold, having a plan cold, knowing the numbers inside your business cold, right? And communicating at an incredibly effective level. Tara has been a 7 levels of communication coach for Michael Mayer before. She's been a productivity coach in several organizations, right? And more importantly, like when I talk to Tara, like there's an enthusiasm about this business. There's an excitement about this business. There's an excitement about life that I think carries over, right? And I love seeing somebody who is completely themselves. What you're going to see here is how Tara is when she's holding court, like in South Florida, serving up business at 11:30 at night. Like it's going to be the same exact person because that is like the clientele, right? It is a mixed city with a Latin heritage. So, the whole family is out at 9:30. Like, right?
We just get started at 9:30. That's like dinner.
Exactly. We'll have to talk. I was down in Ybor last week for an event. I'll have to tell you about it when we another time. You would have appreciated it. It was I got a good shot of being back home. So, Tira, what are we talking about today? Because I'm gonna let you've got a lot to cover. We made a big promise in this one. I want to give you the stage to
Heidi.
kind of cover everything you need to cover. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about how to multiply your listing. So if we're going to take just one deal, why take one? We should be taking at least 2 to 3 per every single listing.
Yeah.
Squeeze the juice is how I call it.
Squeeze the juice. Get every last bit out of it on here. If you got questions on here, like don't be afraid. Normally I wouldn't throw them in here, but Tara, this is like the Breakfast Club. This is the hyena's den. We can switch up the beats. You can ask her questions,
Yes,
exactly
please.
how to do it. Like make this interactive, drop in where you're from. All right, so let's start with like
I'll even get more raw and real. Let me even have a seat. Well, we'll start with the fact that if we're gonna, most of us we already know that if we got into the listing business, that the listings create what? Leverage and what? I can wait.
leverage and
Three L's and
okay.
MREA, and Justin's not allowed to be the one to answer.
There's no wrong answers. Jump in there. They might not
Listings
know.
create what? It's called the 3 L's of
Leads,
MREA. Yes,
listings,
I
leads,
appreciate
and
that.
leverage.
I
Hmm.
amen. Listings, leads, and leverage. So that's why the majority of the goal is to be a listing agent, right? Because you're going to be able to spend less time doing more, making more money, right? Hitting whatever your goals are. And so if we're going to get a listing, right? Why not squeeze the juice and get 2 to 3 more deals out of it? I am feeling real princessy bride today. We are not wearing that.
As you wish.
One, and being authentically yourself is even more key, FYI. That's always going to be squeeze the juice. So, um, for those that don't know, my name's Tara. Hi, I'm a third generation realtor out of South Florida. I've been an agent for a decade now, a coach, just like Justin had said. And I basically built my entire business almost just basically out of referrals or working out of venues, open houses, expireds. I'm still heavily in expireds right now. You got to go back to the basics, right? You got to make sure it's not about selling real estate, it's about following a schedule and getting back on schedule and time blocking and all of that. Like that stuff matters. But here's what matters for today. I didn't build my business by chasing more leads. I built it by getting more of what I already had or have. So that's what I want to talk about. I call it squeezing the juice. I actually have a slide too, but I want to start with a question because I actually want participation in here. And I know it's early, it's 8:42. You guys got like a little bit more like energy in you guys, or at least I'm going to be the one to wake you up a bit. So how many deals do you typically get from one listing? Put it in the chat or take yourself off mute. How many deals do you typically get from one listing? Is it zero? Is it one? What is it?
At least two.
At least two? Okay. Oh, that was a little like balloon emoji just for double. That's kind of
When you
cute.
throw up the, I guess the peace
Okay,
sign throws up some balloons.
got it.
I don't
See,
know.
that was a squirrel moment for a high eye. This is not a disc profile class, but this is why they cannot have these features for high eye. That is super distracting. So how many deals? If it's gonna be at least two, perfect. Because so most of us are getting one deal, maybe two if we're lucky, right? But what if I told you that one listing should be worth at least 3 to 5 transactions consistently, literally consistently. So this is called the listing multiplier. I don't think I've taught this class locally. I think I only did this in Virginia and maybe local. So for the most part, all I did was put together a basic GPS. If I were to drive to Chicago today, I'm in South Florida. If I would probably with nothing, like I just said, I'm gonna go north. I'm gonna take 95 north. Would I eventually get there?
Yeah. No.
I would
No.
get there eventually, maybe. I'd follow some signs. I'd probably get lost. Or
Maybe.
I would put the address in my what?
GPS. You can come off camera. This is not going to stop. You can unmute.
Yeah. I would put it in my GPS and I would be able to know exactly how to get there. I'm gonna hit detours. I'm going to hit road bumps. I'm going to have to pivot and back up and go a different route when there's too much traffic going that other route, right? So essentially, a GPS is going to be like one goal. This is not a class to teach you guys the basics of GPS, but and if not, look it up. But it's one goal and it's 3 priorities and 5 strategies for every single priority. So I took a GPS from years and years ago. This is like 8 years going on, guys. Like I didn't reinvent the wheel. I'm not smarter than you. I may outwork you. I don't have
What's a GPS? We got some folks. It's cross brokerage that don't know the lingo.
all good. So I would say the best way to describe it is one goal, 3 priorities, 5 strategies. So you have, I'm gonna go over it, so you're good. Well, actually, let me just share my screen. Let's go. Let's start there.
Let's do that.
Do I have capabilities to share my screen?
You will, and momentarily if Julian hasn't done it.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. I
Thank you. You're the
appreciate you.
best.
And don't worry, I'm still probably gonna be asking you guys questions. So actually, it has my other brokerage, but nobody cares what brokerage we're at.
No, they sure don't.
Just don't tell Emmy. I just realized it doesn't have the new one. Carlo, if you're on here, if we could change that. I need to change that.
I saw Carlo.
Uh,
So
so
we've got a flamingo. Why is there a flamingo there?
well, that's the brand. So when you see a flamingo, think of me. Flamingos are the brand. And I'd love to flamingo with you.
Why a flamingo? Because I love it. There's actually a reason here.
Because you're from Florida.
No, flamingos actually symbolize elegance and beauty. Flamingos are the bird that are the most social and family oriented. Flamingos are the bird that live in the longest in their category of birds. Flamingos also are born white and gray, and they get their color based on the nutrients that they actually eat and consume, which is the blood from the krill that they eat. So that's why their beaks are positioned the way that they are in order to filter through the bullshit of the mud and only find the good nutrients. And the better their environment, the more pinker they are. That's why.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. There's intentionality, right?
I
And when you put
love that.
intentionality in things, it carries all the way through. It isn't just a flamingo and Tara says, let's flamingo. Like,
No, we live and breathe it. Justin, have you ever seen me off-brand dressed?
no, I haven't. Tara has affirmations she sends out, like look like a little, I have them hung in my bathroom.
Yep.
No.
You will never catch me off brand. You will never catch me off pink. I'm wearing black dress right now, but my lips and my nails are pink. I have never not been off brand for 8, 9 years. 9 years at least, guys. This is commitment. My car is pink, okay? Like, but you hear the intentionality behind like when you live and breathe a brand, and this is not a brand class. I can just come back because it's all Justin. When you live and breathe your brand, it is so easy and it's so much more fun because you attract the people that you actually want to work with and not just anybody.
Does anybody know that I work with grid? Anyone ever see me in some grid gear? Right?
All the time.
Exactly. That's intentionality. That's not by accident. That's on purpose.
No, it just made a recognition a long time ago. We all wear brands. If I'm going to wear a brand and purchase a brand, why not rep my own brand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
let's
So,
go. Let's squeeze some
and
juice.
yeah, sweet some juice, not a branding class, although we do teach those. This is for if you guys want to go ahead and follow me, you're more than welcome to. I'll make sure to follow you guys back. I'm mostly heavily on Instagram. I do intentionally also mark social media lead gen on social media. I do that for about 2 hours a day, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. I also will take content throughout the day. This is not a social media class. However, if I can give you a rule of thumb, it's it's well, 10 stories, typically at least 10 stories a day, but it's 555, which is 5 likes a day where you're liking somebody's post, 5 comments a day where you're commenting more than 3 words. So it's not happy birthday, it's happy birthday to you, 4 words. And it's 5 direct messages every single day. And if you want to be real gangster, you could triple that, which is what I do. It always leads me to one new appointment. If you're going to be scrolling through social media, at least do it with intention for the most part. This is a voicemail script. Just take a picture of this. This is not for today. Again, this was a class that I taught in person, but this is a phenomenal script. If you guys are teaching or you guys have to be in like a 4-hour class and you're giving the preface to your clients, your buyers or sellers that like, hey, I'm taking a great class today, da 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 da. You guys can take a picture of that. For time's sake, I can't go through that. I already told you who I am. It doesn't matter.
One
Pre-list.
of the best things, I love this, Tara. If this is a master class, we're packing everything we know into this one thing. Why do I do that? People only care how it benefits them. If I'm going to a conference, if I'm going to a class, like tell your buyers and sellers why it matters to them. They just taking the picture of you in the luxurious setting, eating the free food from the title company doesn't really convey a message to them. They've
And
seen
they
it.
don't care if you
They're,
have 10 other clients.
they've watched their niece get out of college, get a license, and she's at the same exact broker's open as you. Like it's you gotta like convey why does this matter to them? And when you do, like things start to click. Oh my man, Terry, you spent a lot of time getting better. Anyways, go ahead.
No, I actually appreciate that you said that because especially now with technology, all my sellers are following me. And I have this one neighborhood where I have 10 million in volume in and I'm dominating and they're all paying attention. You posted their house 3 times. You did 2 open houses. Like they're all paying attention. Your clients are following you guys. Like I promise you they are paying attention. So you have to explain to them like I explained to them why I'm at this other open house and I'm going to be why it benefits them. They don't give a shit because clients want to make sure that you make them feel important. They're all listening to the same radio station, which is WWW. I,
IME?
yeah, IME.
Oh,
I haven't had my tea yet.
all
I don't drink
good.
coffee. You do
All
not want
good.
me drinking coffee.
All right. So I love it. So again, and we don't do this all at once. We build these things, we build these habits and we stack them, right? That's, Atomic Habits is you start with one and
Yep.
6 weeks later, you can roll out another one. You can roll out another one. You can do six really strong habits a year. 8 years later, like, and if you continue doing this, what I love, Tara, that you can give the game away because you're still putting new habits into place and you're still
Yeah.
putting more emphasis on there. That's what I love about this is like I'm still leveling up.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
awesome.
I mean, I'm not above the process. I'm 10 years in and we won't sell less than 50 million a year. And I'm grateful to be in the market that I am in because, units are down, but that was my goal, units down, volume up, because my goal next is to be traveling and speaking and teaching more. So like the goals have changed. However, I'm still not above the process. I don't care how big I've got. I've hit all my accolades, and I can promise you guys, your own goals are your own goals. And once I hit number one in every single status that I wanted to, there was no fireworks. There's only fireworks for yourself. So, the best part about being in this business is if your goal is to sell 3 houses this year, or 30 houses, or 300 houses, there's no limit. There's no ceilings. There's no cap. It's whatever your goals are, it's your job to go after it and get it because you could sit here all day and get this energy. Yet there's two things that nobody could ever do for you, especially as a coach and trainer. They cannot control your daily effort or your daily attitude at all. That is on you. And I know sometimes we don't feel like it. Well, guess what? When you don't feel like it for a whole 5 days, that stuff doesn't show up until 120 days later now, 90 days later. So watch yourself, watch your schedule. I'm gonna go through real quick. Let me see what's the clock, the time? I don't see this.
We are 8:53.
Okay, 8:53. Got it. All right, so it's gonna be high D version, guys. Take a disc class, DISC. So high D version. This is a listing that I did an open house block party for. Honestly, it was not a block party. I just threw that on there. I did, this was the pre-listing. So what you do before an open house, especially if you want to work smarter and not harder, I clocked this at 17 hours prep time. When I show you, they're gonna be like, oh my God, that's insane. Yet also just the flyer alone, if you want the template, you're more than welcome to take it. I don't care. The house details, a tour of the house, feature list, etc. However, I had an ice cream truck that was there, but to be honest, it was not. There goes another mega yacht. This is why I cannot work from home. It's like, wait, Terry, you're not on that yacht, nor do you own it. Get back to work. This is why we are not a work from home kind of girl. 17 hours prep time. I always do. Every single listing gets a pre-inspection. It is non-negotiable for me. Every single example, my mom and I both went to a inspection yesterday. She went to one, I went to another. And our business is completely separate. I outsell my family now times like 5 with my mom and uncle combined, like for years, right? We're not even, so it's not like, oh, she gets the business from her family. No, she hustles for it. We still door knock, we still cold call, and we probably grind 6 to 7 days a week at least, because I know what my goals are. So every house got a pre-inspection. My mom and I both went to an inspection. Now I double-ended my 2 mil. That was a seller. I have seller and buyer, obviously. Now, every single thing that came up in that report, I had already disclosed to the buyer and made him sign off on it. My mom went to an inspection representing the buyer and she says it was a complete disaster. Why? Because there was no pre inspection. If our number one job as listing agents is to be able to know the house better than anyone else and sell it at a premium in order to create more listings, then your shit better not sit days on the market and it also better not come back on the market once it goes under contract. So how do you bulletproof a transaction, which is tactic 6 in the shift book, which I'm sure Justin has by him. It's tactics 6, I think 6 or 9. And so it's bulletproof the transaction. So if you bulletproof the transaction, then you know the house better than anyone else. There you go. So everybody gets a home booklet with a full inspection. And I typically take care of every single thing that has caused issues for insurance. I already have insurance quotes. I already have permits pulled. I already have city liens pulled. I have pretty much quotes. Here's all the things that we did fix. And here's all the things that we didn't fix. And here's all the quotes on how much it cost to fix it on your own because we're not doing it. And then this is the price and these are the terms. So my deals don't come back on the market. So the home inspection and the repairs list, which is a home booklet that's like this big, typically, depending on the type of house. I mean, I'll even get the paint color swatches and put them inside there. So I also got a video from the sellers about why they love the home. If we were making buyer offers and now we're having to do reverse offers to buyers because the market has shifted, your tactics have to shift. The market's not bad. You're just not working. Period.
What's the inventory like in your market?
Oh, insane. Put it this way. We have 93,000 realtors and a 63 square mile radius.
And how many are listings sitting on the market right now?
Yeah, especially the higher the price range.
Yep.
Yeah, the higher the price range. Like our 60 days on market is now like 100 days on market. 80 is like double. Yet I'm still crushing the ones like this one neighborhood. I just double ended 3 of them. And they were all I hit records for days on market and for pricing. So it's possible, but it has to be the best house for the best value, and you have to articulate that to your sellers. Now, do I have a few that are sitting? Yeah, because I had an agent on the team. I can blame it on her, although I told her it was my choice to still take them. We got out scripted by not setting a precedent from the very beginning with the sellers about the market and the pricing strategy. I had a seller yesterday not respond to an offer for 4 days. You know what I did? I took his ass off the market, temporary off the market, and put him in timeout. Literally in timeout. It's a 1.4. Don't even care what the price range is. I will fire you if you are unmotivated. If you do not respond to an offer, I do not work for you anymore. Does that make sense? Like you control the team.
Yeah, there's when you in that buyer representation agreement, there are mutual obligations in that agreement. Right? There and you have to have the active consent of a seller. Because there's no point in pushing through. We did a closing one time representing a buyer on a condo. The seller just didn't show up for closing. He didn't really want to sell his bachelor pad condo. I think his wife was making him do it. So he didn't show up for closing and it was under 200K. So what are you going to do? We just moved on. We're not going to assume for specific performance, but you cannot force unmotivated people to do things they don't want to do.
I had a one yesterday. It's an $80,000 condo. And at the showing, the brother called the cops and wouldn't let them in. Like, there's always going to be struggles. Like, pick your struggle. It's always going to be something, right?
Sure.
Now, but understand this. We cannot make anyone do anything. Write this down. All we can do, you can't convince anyone. You can't make anyone. You can't motivate anyone. All you can do is give them new information to make new decisions. All you can do is give them new information to make new decisions. That's it. And so, yes, I'm this big bubbly personality, yet I am hardcore with my clients because I don't have time to waste. And you know what? They deserve that. They deserve to be told the truth. And you hired an agent who would tell you the truth, right?
Yes.
So tell them the truth and don't be scared. I don't care what the price.
You're talking about seller videos.
Yeah. So seller videos, for the most part, it's a reverse offer. It's a reverse, like instead of the buyer writing a love letter, it's a seller writing a love letter. Ran social media ads. I did a bunch of open houses. My favorite one I want you to hear on this one is I circle prospected the FSBOs and expireds. So I went to the FSBOs and expireds and invited them to the open house via in person, dropped off a flyer, mailed to them, and called them. All 3. That was probably my biggest ROI. Literally, my biggest ROI came from that activity more than anything else.
What's the script there?
Just letting them know. So you have a unique opportunity to, well, hi, it's Tara. With what brokerage am I with now? Keller Williams.
Hey, Tara.
Hey, it's Tara and Keller Williams. I just wanted to let you know, I know you're selling your home on your own. Not here to pitch you anything. I just figured, there's only one buyer for you, and you may have a unique opportunity to pick your own neighbor if you don't happen to move, or you may want to see how we get things done over here. So we have an open house going on. It's a block party. You should totally come by. It'd be Monday through whatever, 2 to 7. And then that's it. I'm just inviting them to an open house, nothing else. I'm not asking for their business, nothing else. I'm not saying,
Yep.
will you hire me? Can I pop by for 15 minutes? Nothing else.
No, I love it. You just got to get them there and they'll see the difference.
Oh yeah. You'll see. So I hired an ice cream truck. That didn't cost anything. And that was Matt Bean signs in advance. Result
You had one
100.
thing there about training people to sell the house that intrigued me.
Oh, because I knew I knew what it was going to be. I listed this for 650, and I did that strategically. Because I knew I should have listed it for more. I still have people call me today and say, "Did you mean to list it at that?" Yes, you did. You have to be able to you have to be able to give your sellers the information in order to allow you to list it at a price that you know is going to cause it to sell and create multiple offers so they have multiple backup opportunities. Like I just got the one I double ended. I said I had the inspection at yesterday. I have 3 showings at today. And I strategically put them at the same time that the buyer is doing a seawall inspection with divers in the water. So he cannot back out because he sees that I have so much interest. And until the deal's done, I'm still selling it. Period. Even though I would prefer, obviously, it'd be nicer. That's my pocket though, but there's no fiduciary duty. So you have to be careful. Dual agency is very, very tricky. Yet I know, but I'm ethical. Just be ethical. That's really it's the only way to get around it. So the
Sure.
results, I had 16 offers, 180 people. I drove the price to over 800,000. I had 3 unrepresented buyers, 2 buyers switched. I had my lenders on site. 3 cash. I ended up going on 12 listing appointments. I've already sold 3 of them. 2 of them are pending. Now it's 5 sold. 3 active. Now it's 1 active. And closed sales is now 3.
I love it. What would you have if you were going to list this thing, you know, based off of the comps, what would you list it at, you think?
I would have listed it at 750. Although people search in 50, depending on the price range, they typically search in 50,000 and $100,000 increments.
Yep.
So I just go based on the scroll. Mr. Seller,
Like,
would you prefer to, if you're going to go fishing and you're going to put fish on a hook, would you prefer to fish and catch as many fish as possible? Would you prefer to fish in a pond, a lake, or an ocean? Let me know how you
an
can fish in
ocean.
the ocean.
Yeah. Gotcha. So you're doing bracket pricing. We're pricing at 6 or 650 or
Yeah.
right.
None of this like 649, 799. Like if somebody searches 650 and up, you just lost everybody over $1,000. Was that worth it? No. No.
We ran the data here. Guy Tito Machucci ran it up in Johnson City. His wife's a data scientist. On there, they went back 7 years. If you price right on the brackets, he said you get 2 to 5 times the amount of showings because they have SEO data in their MLS, and they sit on the market. They sell like 17 days faster.
I would say the other thing is too, as realtors, keep in mind when you're searching for your buyers as well. There's realtors that have that commonality because they're sellers or whatever. That if let's say the buyer's 300,000 and up, make sure you're going like 250 to 350, because some realtors too, over a couple $1,000s, you may be missing out on things that you had no idea about, or it's
Oh
over.
yeah, like you're missing that 310 house that's negotiable because it's been sitting. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But their budget's 300 max.
Yep.
Yep. I like all
Awesome.
day. You got to go
So
up.
there
You
we
got
go.
to
We had
play the game.
119 sign-ins, 16 offers, right? I love it. Crushed it.
I'll just go through this for time's
Yep.
sake. I'm just gonna. This is the GPS. So 1 goal, 3 priorities, 5 strategies. So if the 1 goal is to acquire 3 to 5 listings for every single 1 listing, then the goal is to sell the listing, find a buyer, sell them something else, and then get another listing. That's the 3 goals, right? So there's activities that are done before listing it, when it's listed, and then after closing. It's that simple. It's honestly repeating the same thing over and over and over again for each single category. So under each priority though, there's 5 strategies for how we actually do that, right? So for the most part is to sell it, create appointments, grow the database. I think I have here. Um, yeah. So I think I have actually, hold on. Where does create? For the only thing I want you to see here is how does this create a conversation? So, for example, pre-listing, I can door knock. Hey, there's a house that's coming on the market. I just wanted you to be the first one to know. You have a unique opportunity to pick your own neighbor. Who do you know that I should know that would like to move in on 123 Main Street? It's that simple, right? So when we go on the market, it's the same conversation. Hey, it's Tara again. Just want to let you know that house on 123 Main Street I told you about, we're actually live on the market. I know you said you didn't know anyone before, but just in case, is there anybody that you come across that you would like to make your neighbor? No, you can't think of them. Well, if you come across anybody in the next 30 days, would you introduce them to me? Yes. Okay, great. Would it be okay if I followed up with you? Absolutely, Tara. Okay, awesome. Right. And so is when we're actually under contract, it's going to be the same conversation. Hey, it's Tara. You know that house on 123 Main Street I told you about? I know you didn't have anyone yet. I found a buyer and I have other buyers that are still interested. So since we can only accept one offer, that means that there's other buyers that are out there that love this neighborhood just like you do. Who do you know that I should know that is looking to sell their house that I can help? Oh, I don't love this neighborhood. Oh, you don't? I can help you move. So they're always going to have something to say, or the conversation is going to turn into, oh man, I don't know anyone. So it just depends. And then once we're closed, it's the same conversation. Hey, it's Tara. You know that house that I know I've already told you about multiple times. I know you don't know anyone. We actually close on it. And I set another record in your neighborhood. Even if
Oh, wow.
yeah, I set another one in your neighborhood. So I was just curious because I still got those leftover buyers and there's tons of sellers I would love to help. Clearly, I'm trying to bring up the values in your neighborhood. So, Justin, is there anyone that you know that I should know that's looking to possibly sell?
I mean, how much did you set the record for?
I just 20,000 over asking.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would imagine at that point, I'm kind of thinking about selling myself.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. What causes you to want to sell it yourself?
I'm just kind of getting tired of this neighborhood and the traffic and all of these people because these realtors have these mega open houses. So there's too many people in my neighborhood. I want to go someplace quieter. No.
Well, I mean, if you did sell, where are you going?
Actually, no, I would like to go be a little closer to the kids. South Florida was too much for them, so they've moved up to Central Florida, and I think I would go up there.
Awesome. So when are you thinking about being closer to the kids?
I'd like to be there before the school year.
So we're thinking like August.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be nice.
And what's important to you about being there closer to the kids by school time?
Be able to help with my kids, right? So be able to help them out. I think, when school year comes, they're going to need more help. Summer's kind of easier for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, family's the best thing that we got, right?
Yep. Yeah. Family's everything.
So if your timeline's going to be like August, I mean, honestly, Justin, we're in April. I mean, we're about to be in April in a day or so. So we with the average days on market, I mean, you're kind of looking about putting your house on the market in the next 30 days. So what's your plan as a for sale by owner?
I don't really have a plan.
Okay. What was the reason why you're choosing to sell it yourself?
You know, I just want to save on commission, honestly. Like it's every bit of money. This is, I think, the last major purchase I'm gonna have. I've got a lot of equity and I want to get as much as possible out of it. It seems like there's a lot of folks out there and I think I don't know, I read people selling with AI and using these tools. I think I could, be able to market it and 3% is a big return on an investment. I invest. If I can get 3 extra% on my stocks, that'd make a big difference.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, price only matters in the absence of value, right?
Yeah,
Have you
this
ever
is
sold a
true.
house on your own before?
No.
No. Okay. Is it sounds like I know you brought up the word AI, so I'm guessing is this idea from somebody else or is this just something you've seen on the news or have you seen others have
Uh,
success with it?
just watching on the news, and I've got a friend who's a consultant who's obsessed with AI. AI is his therapist. AI is his. We talk about AI. He was literally talking to me about AI last night and showing me his.
Listen, his name is Quincy, and he is a gay black male in his mid 50s, and he's not too flamboyant, and he's my best friend. So I get it. So how about this? Justin, I don't see any reason why you possibly can't sell it on your own. And I'll even bring you what my Quincy or the other AI sources are on top of some other source that you may need and see if it makes sense for you and give you all the tactics. And I'll be in your area this Friday. I could pop by for just 15 minutes and drop that stuff off to you and give you some of the tools for success. Will you be home between 3 and 4 on Friday, or is between 2 and 3 on Saturday better?
Saturday.
Saturday. Awesome. I'll be there between 2 and 3 and I'll text you when I'm 15 minutes out.
Thanks.
Thanks. So then he's gonna get a calendar invite. So I'm not going in on convincing anyone again on why they shouldn't sell it on their own. I'm going to actually help them sell it on their own. And when they fail, they're going to call me because I was the only realtor that helped them try to sell on their own. I also keep seller's disclosures in the trunk of my car. So if I see a for sale, and I have like for sale by owner packages, but honestly, my biggest return on investment is I actually prefer expires over FSBOs, yet it's still the same thing. Um, However, I keep seller's disclosures in every contract in my car of 3 to 5 copies of each. If I see a FSBO, I'm giving them a seller's disclosure. Hey, I saw that you have a for sale by owner sign outside your house. I just, you're probably going to need this when you actually go under contract, when you sell it on your own. And so I just wanted to drop this off in case when you do. And it also has the contact information of my attorney because you're going to need one. That's
Oh,
it.
well, why, thank you. This is very kind of you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. How's it going? How many
Oh,
showings? How many offers?
and then
Like
you roll
I'll
right into the
and I'm not
conversation.
going to and yeah, and then I'm going to stay out of it. Because what it is it's the success and the follow-up. They're going to get tired. They're going to get burnt out. Now I know he wants to be there by a certain time, so he's already on a time frame. He wants to be closer to his kids, which I could dig down deeper on. And then I can bring him a net sheet. Yet what is his job? How many hours is he working? Is his house properly staged? Hey, here's my photographer. Give them a call. Like, give them the tools because they're going to get tired.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work, and
Whoever's
if you're
last one
still in a
standing
market
wins.
that's hot and you're not like in a South Florida market where we're talking about like price correction, months of inventory. This job used to be like just a lot of work. I would show a house 3 times. Like
I miss those
the
days.
inventory would just sit, and because inventory would sit and because there was, this is stuff was on the market for a long time, there was not the same rush. Interestingly, I've told this story before though. We used to sell properties for the bank. 3,000 properties all sold for different banks and HUD and Fannie and Freddie. I would see inventory sit in the market for 6 months and then we would get a multiple offer in the same weekend because flocking behavior is just, it's crazy. It'd be sitting there for 6 months and we'd have multiple offers in the same weekend because people move in patterns.
I miss those days. I'm not getting that much, but you know what? In higher price ranges too, if you price it right the first time, you're always going to get the activity. The market's going to speak to you. Just buyers have they have more options right now. Like they just do. And so
Yeah.
they're able to take their sweet time. So how the only advice I guess I can give if you have the seller listings is just think backwards. Who's the avatar for that seller, for that listing, for that house? And then how do we get to them? How do we market to that avatar? Like how old are they? What is their job? What's their income bracket? What do they like to do for fun? Like for example, if I have a buyer that I know I had this one house where it was a large waterway, so I knew it was good for a catamaran owner or a sailboat owner. So I marketed and teamed up with the brokers from New Hampshire, Connecticut, Vermont, all the coastal states up there for the wealthy. And I had a certain income bracket, and then I networked with the yacht brokers down here, but not the mega yacht brokers, just the sailboat ones and the catamaran ones, right? And I was intentional because I knew that the buyer literally had to have a catamaran or sailboat. I just knew it. They had to. So I
Yep.
take the avatar of who's the person buying the house and reverse it and work backwards.
I I almost went and paired up with an agent in Tampa that did the same thing. She would double side. She'd get a waterfront listing. She'd look at the boat dock. She would go
Yep.
contact the boat dealerships, find out or contact the hospitals who's moving to the area, and she consistently double sided her
And work
business.
backwards. I
Yep.
know for time's sake, just take a picture of this one, guys, because I want you to have some squeeze the juice out of this. So if you were to go back and you have spent any time, just make sure that you think about if you were to create your five strategies for pre-listing. What do I do during pre-listing? What do I do during launch? And what do I do during just sold, right? And if you can honestly repeat the same things for every single one, yet you have to remember what are you doing in phone, in person, door knocking, email, phone calls, direct social media, direct mail, social media. And then which one is going to actually cause a conversation, an appointment, or you can add to your database. Because it's not just about creating more appointments today, it's putting them in your pipeline for future business. Like the neighbor across the street is probably never moving. He's dying in that house, but he's already given me 2 referrals.
I love this. How long do you allocate for lead gen time? If I'm a newer agent, if I'm my business isn't where I want to, because I think people don't realize just like how much activity. What I hear from Tara is you do a
So
lot of activity. This
I
is
will,
not,
so I'll even be transparent if I can. So what I said, I'm 10 years in the business, right?
yep.
So even today, I sent the team my time block today. So, um, where was it? Here's my time block I sent the team my time block today. I'm obviously here 9:15. I have a 9:15. I have my blow dry. We get our hair done once a week. Is my Zoom. I have white space for like things that are just gonna come up that are like, or like, what do you have to do? I have my every Tuesday, buyers and sellers get updates. I have my lead gen scheduled for 2 hours on top of my updates. This is my other business and white space admin work, my nails, and my workout. My day's reversed today. So, but this is 10 years in, guys. It's not about selling real estate, it's about following a schedule. That's it. It's just time blocking. And the only way I can get things done is if I time block.
Beth had a question, so I'm gonna bring Beth on here. I love it. Thank you, Beth. What's your question?
Yeah, I was gonna say for like the FSBOs and expired, I love like how you dealt with that. In fact, I had the exact situation. I was selling my parents' house as a FSBO because I wanted to maximize their money from Virginia, and this was in Pennsylvania. And finally, I got tired. I immediately sold it, but then it fell through because of an issue, and I got tired. And the former principal of my kids, who then turned real estate agent, he was helping me and literally just helping me, and I just turned it over to him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a perfect
See?
example. The person who helped you, I had 1,000 calls, you know what I mean? People calling. But I turned it over to him. So that's a prime example that that works. But I was going
Glorified that
to
for
ask,
me.
what do you say? I feel like this would be a common thing when you help them do that. I think that's great, but they're likely going to ask you, like, can you list it on MLS for me? Do you get that much? And how do you deal with it?
Um, yeah. So let's just role play that. Just ask me again.
Tara, I know you're helping me and I'm very thankful. Would you please, like, by chance list it on the MLS for me?
Yeah, I can. So can everybody else.
But is it free? Do I have to pay for it?
I mean, there's tons of limited services that you can hire in order to list your home on the multiple listing service to syndicate to multiple other properties. Yet, how do you feel that that's actually going to get your home sold?
I guess because it would be in front of like all the agents and be exposed to more buyers.
Do we want more agents or more buyers?
More buyers.
More buyers. Yeah, I would agree. And if all agents did the same things, wouldn't we all sell the same number of houses?
Well, I know different, all agents are not the same. Some work harder and some market in different ways.
Yeah. Do you know that there's only 3 reasons why a house sells?
What are they?
Location, you can't pick up the house and move it. Condition, something that you control because I can give you tips all day for staging, yet it's going to be what you control. And price, it's going to be the price that You're willing to accept the price the buyer is willing to pay and what the bank is willing to say it's worth if there's an appraisal involved. Did you know that all three things, none of those things a real estate agent controls?
True, but how do I get in front of the buyers then if it's not on the MLS?
Great question, Beth. So I would tell you that the number one thing that the only thing that an agent controls is marketing. So if all agents did the same exact things, we'd all get the same results. And that's why you would want to work with me because I'm going to get you more results in a short amount of time to get you to Orlando by August to be with your kids. So you don't have to worry about this and sit on the market day after day after day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want the most amount of results, you want the most amount of money in your pocket, we got to actually sign a full service agreement. Here's your options. What do you want to pick? You have the options between 2.5% and 4%. Put me to work.
So basically you don't give that option. You
That's
don't do that limited, you don't do
no.
that service.
If you want a
I've never
discounted
been,
agent, if you want discounted services, hire a discounted agent.
Agree.
yeah,
Agree.
I haven't been asked that too
Thank
often,
you.
Beth.
You're welcome. You are Rachel Adams' twin.
I don't know who that is, but I hope it's good.
Yeah. Right, Justin? She's a badass. Make sure you follow her on social media. She's a social media queen and she's built her whole business through social media and being transparent. Like I am as raw as they come. She's very, very raw too. And so I appreciate her.
Who has any questions? Larry, I see you're on here. Larry runs our ISA department, right?
Oh.
Any questions on any of this stuff? So Tara, we're talking about this. Let's talk about what tactics what are some things that I could do right now to take some territory? I'm on a team. We've got 20 listings, right? I've got a bunch of my agents on here. What could I do today? We're gonna watch you take territory Tuesday to take some inventory based off of the listings we have.
Well, I would start, I mean, don't sleep on circle prospecting. I
Okay.
also would, are any of them vacant?
Yeah.
All right, pop up an open house during the week. Who said open houses have to be during the weekend?
Yep. So
If
do
no
a
one's coming into your office,
midweek open house.
yeah, during the
Go.
week, I would do 8 open houses a week. Like if it was a school zone, if it was by a school, I was there at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. 3 days a week, like with signs out, ready to go. And so it's the no one's coming into your office to talk to you about real estate besides other realtors. So
Yep.
yes, it's important to go into the office if you guys have an office, yet why not go make a house your office? I make restaurants my office very often. Jeff
Yep.
knows this. I built my whole business around this.
Yeah.
But that's not for today. It's called home court advantage. So if I want to control, if there's one neighbor, if there's one person that comes into my open house and I'm lead genning, I'm doing my MLSs, I'm doing my emails, I'm doing my calls, I'm doing everything from the house with some signs outside. I'm literally advertising. Come and see me. One nosy neighbor is better than nothing. So
Yeah.
I would do open houses, the vacants. Door knock, 555, 5 to the left, 5 to the right, 5 in front, 5 to the back if you want to do it.
Love, love it. So we got
And
midweek open house, circle prospect, which is call the neighbors. Call the
and
neighbors,
yeah,
right?
call the neighbors. And then obviously through social media, I would utilize social media. The thing is that people need to see that you're actively in real estate every single day. Right. And I do my best to stay present throughout the day. So I tend to just save everything in drafts when I take content and then I just save it in drafts and then post it later. Yet it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It could just be a picture of your feet and a printout. If you don't have any listings to sell right now, if you don't have any business right now, I would go and preview 50 homes a week and take content and intentionally time block and you'll get business.
We
Sometimes
were
it's
just
the
talking about an agent in our market, Lydia Caps, that came right out of the gate, paid for her own high-end marketing on other people's luxury. And someone else was like, another young, successful agent was like, I gotta look her up. She must have been, she's got to have sold like 12 houses by now.
yeah.
Just because the presentation. And there's a way to do it where it's kind of all hype. No, like she
Yeah.
rolled out, she was in college doing it, had a plan, worked it like a business, but like the presentation was amazing because it
It's
was
the
just like,
perception. That's how I started selling luxury was I didn't have any business. I was broke as hell. I was wearing the same black dresses every single day. My car was screaming belts, like screaming belts. I was so embarrassing. I would park 2.5 blocks away and walk my happy butt in heels into these high end brokers opens and open houses. And I would take content like, hey, check out this house. This could be all yours for 10 million. I'm previewing this for a buyer. Do you think the seller would mind if I jumped in the pool? I said previewing. Who knows the difference between previewing and showing? Just realtors. And so I said previewing, and I said for my buyer. Yeah, the buyer that I'm manifesting. I didn't have one yet. I was manifesting one though. And so the perception was like, oh my God, you're crushing it. I'm like, yeah, I hadn't sold anything yet. So if you don't have any business, I would stick to I didn't make this up. It's from a class, like 50 houses a week, literally 50 a week. You can pull up your MLS right now and just pull up vacant houses. I'm sure if you're in Justin's area, they would not mind if you were to go take content of their vacant houses. I love when agents call to take content. So long as they give me the credit too, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 brokers open to go to tomorrow because you got to go support the agents too. Because if you want the support, you got to reciprocate it.
Yes.
So that means you
I
call every one of them and ask them if it's okay to share.
Yeah, but not if it's an open house or a broker's open. I'm not going to ask. Also not going to claim it's my listing.
Right. But you do ask for everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask for sure.
You can do it via text, Beth.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Definitely via text. And then just know, like, I mean, it's an open house. I'm not going to say, hey, I just listed this. If I'm previewing vacant houses, I'm not going to say, hey, this is just listed. I'm going to say, hey, I previewed a few homes today. Which backyard do you like the most? 1, 2, 3. Hey, which kitchen is the shittiest? 1, 2, 3. Like I'm not saying like, hey, come check out this 3-2, da 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 da. No, like I'm creating content. Hey, I'm previewing and I'm taking content of the driveway or whatever it is that day. And so, or taking pictures of every kitchen and having them rate them or respond. Like, what name would you name this house? Hey, like just things like that. Not saying just listed.
And it's especially effective if there's a niche or a psychographic market you want to get into, luxury condos, waterfront property, etc. Like you out there walking another waterfront property, right? It creates this perception that, oh man, Tara must sell so much waterfront property. I always see her, right, in waterfront property.
I mean, we actually do
You
now.
do so.
Although
Yeah.
it's taken years. Like there's so much noise in this business. Cut it out. Like we do not need to sit here on our computers and be literally like glued or comparing ourselves to the others. I know comparison is a thief of joy, and I still do it, by the way. And it's frustrating because the reason we probably got in this business is for freedom and flexibility, right? So why not go after what you actually desire and don't compare your insides to someone else's outsides? Your goals are your goals, yet sitting behind a computer or scrolling is not going to actually get you the business. And putting together a fancy marketing package or coming up with branding is not going to get you the business either. It's going to be you out in the field. You actually having conversations about real estate and taking content.
Terry, do you have one of those slides you can send us so I can email it to everybody on the call?
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
Awesome.
I
All
hope
right,
this was of value. Give me 2 takeaways before I go so I know that this was of value.
who's got a takeaway? Paola, give me one takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything that you said has been helpful, but especially the part when you're saying that when you go, because I want to do door knocking, right? And I want to do expires. It's all about the facing my fear, right? And then it's just like, I'm not asking for your business. I'm just gonna help you. Because that makes sense. Like when you help somebody with not expecting anything back, it usually pays off. So just put that into practice. Like I'm gonna help you regardless you wanna list with me, work with me or not. I'm gonna help you. And I like that thought process.
Absolutely. Well, it's the person that's going to come from contribution. The person that's going to give and give and give without the expectation to receive is always
Yeah.
going to be the one where it is returned the most. It may take some time, but if you do things the right way the first time, the universe will reward you. Do I have permission to reframe one thing that you said?
Yeah, sure.
Let's change the word from want to you are or intend to or desire to or going to. Because when we say the word want, want equals lack. And so when we want
Okay.
something, we're lacking something. So it's not that I want to help you. I intend to help you get the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. I desire to go out and take 10 more deals in the next quarter. I am going to, I intend to, like the words that we use matter. So let's remove the word want and just change it.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it. One more. Who's got another takeaway for us?
Hit me, Beth.
Be bold and stand out. I mean, I guess that's how it spoke to me is just like, don't worry, just be bold and stand out and just move. Um, and don't overthink it and just move. I guess that's the biggest. I know that's general, but for me personally, that's
Oh.
how it spoke to me the most.
Yeah, I would say that just be authentically more you, and you'll attract more of your tribe, and you get to do more business with the people you want to do business for. And it's okay to not be for everybody,
Mhm.
right? But why not just be for the people that you want to work with more?
And I think being
Tara,
really honest with when you're educating them, like being very honest with them. And if that turns them away, don't be afraid, like, because you just have to get it. Just be honest with them because that's what's going to sell it and that's what's going to get you a good reputation.
It sucks. It really, really sucks. I just interviewed against four other agents for a high-end one, and he just called me yesterday and said that he decided to hire me. However, he doesn't want to go on the market right now. You know, in his price range, it doesn't make sense to go on the market right now for the competition, and it would be one of my highest listings ever. However, I just said, yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, I think you should wait based on his timeline, his motivation, everything else. Like, just be honest. But I also was nervous as hell to go in there and tell him that his house was not worth what it was. And he also wanted to just hire me based on if I sold it for less than 7 million, he was going to take that out of my commission. I didn't even try to fight him on that one because I knew he wasn't going to hire me at that moment, had three other interviews. Like, I wasn't going to sit there and battle about compensation because if you're not going to the market today, nothing matters. How about I just get a guess and then we'll get there?
Mhm.
I love it. Next week, Tara, this is applicable to you. Adam
Mhm.
Dow, number one agent in New Hampshire. Amazing agent. Talk He's going to talk about how do you scale out of one area into a larger area and into luxury listings because he was in
Oh, that's
a
perfect.
micro market. The market was too small, and so the only way he could pick up business was by expanding regionally. Like he had to go into other. It'd be like if man, I'm killing it on the beach, right where Terra is down in Las Olas, but it's a wasteland. Everything's empty, so I have to go over to Naples to pick up business, and I have to go over to Boynton.
Yeah.
Uh, down to Hialeah or Plantation or something like all the
But
way
make it
around.
worth your
So
while.
what's that?
Make it worth your while. Like if you guys are gonna go show property and it's 30 minutes away, pull the FSBOs and expireds 30 minutes away and go knock on their door.
Plan for success. What's the worst that could happen? I love it. Thank you,
You're
Beth.
so
I love the
welcome.
enthusiasm. Terry, this was fantastic. What a great way to spend time. We're gonna
I
go take some territory. It's lead gen
Yes,
time.
go get them. Squeeze the juice, guys. Squeeze the juice. I appreciate you. Reach
I
out.
love
Love to hear from you.